And we do have the council members here as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. Good evening and welcome to the joint meeting of the City Council of the City of Moreno Valley Community Services District, City as Successor Agency for the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Moreno Valley Housing Authority, Moreno Valley Public Financing Authority, and the Board of Library Trustees. The City Council does receive a separate stipend for CSD meetings. I now call this regular City Council meeting to order on March 16, 2021 at 6 p.m. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Marquez.
Here.
Councilmember Cabrera.
Councilmember Cabrera. I think it's lagging. There you go.
Councilmember Cabrera.
Mayor, I think we're having problems with the Zoom.
Yeah, we see you. But for some reason your audio is not working.
Councilmember Cabrera is here. Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
Here.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Here. And we'll probably have our IT team reach out to you. Okay. See how we can help. Okay. Staff introductions.
Pat Jaquesnares, City Clerk.
Mike Lee, City Manager.
Brian Mohan, Acting Assistant City Manager, CFO.
Michael Wolf, Assistant City Manager, Director of Public Works, City Engineer.
Manuel Mancha, Community Development Director.
Patty Solano, Parks and Community Services Director.
John Salisbury, Chief of Police.
Abdul Ahmed, Fire Chief.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. Before we hear public comments tonight, I do ask and encourage everyone in the audience to be respectful towards each other. And then finally, I ask the speakers bear in mind that you will have 3 minutes for each item, or actually 3 minutes total. And you will be able to speak on items on the agenda and also items not on the agenda as well. So make sure that if you want to speak on anything that's not on the agenda, to do so during public comments when we call your name. In order to preserve the meeting decorum, council staff will not respond during public comments. Any council comments or questions to staff will be addressed during the closing council closing comments. And Madam Clerk, I think the numbers are a little fluctuated as far as the speakers. Do you know how many we have now?
We have 6 that are attending right now.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and call the first 3. Just make sure that you're available. If we do call your name and you're not there, then we move on to the next person. All right.
So the first 3 are Anthony Tassoni, who's not here. Gabriel Colangelo is, and so is Khalila Mohammed. Gabriel, you need to do *6 to be able to speak, Gabriel.
Okay,
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay.
And then
So
make sure to put the timer as well, City Clerk.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Well, thank you guys for having me here tonight. I wish it was on a more positive note that I could address the council this evening, but hopefully my comments will at least spark some change in the actions of the council, or at least in the public perception thereof. I was shocked in a time of historic deficits right now, with our tax dollars being down not only in Moreno Valley but worldwide, that our council is going to spend $100,000 on a special election. In the previous council meeting, I was greatly saddened and even disturbed at the level of collusion I think I saw between Councilman Cabrera and Councilman Marquez. I would say there was a poor and even an obvious attempt to cater to whatever special interest group is behind Kerry Fenn to kind of ransack this political process that was supposed to go down. Our elected council had made the public believe that they were going to attempt a fair and honest process to nominate an applicant to fill the vacant seat left by the untimely and tragic death of Councilwoman Thornton. So I want to know, why was there such a push to nominate Carla's political rival? You know, why did, when 75% of the public who didn't vote for the Sen, why was that candidate trying to be forced upon us? I don't know her. I have nothing against her. It was obvious there was something going on there in the last meeting, especially because Robertson's rules of order were broken to vote for her twice after she had been voted down. There shouldn't have even been a vote taken for her. So I would suggest this, that the city attorney look into, is that council meeting even valid because order was broken, and that a candidate is nominated. I would say I was one of the people who applied, so this isn't about me. I would say throw out Dr. Terry Thin, throw out myself, throw out the other woman who was nominated, because all three of us were nominated, and go through that list. Councilman Cabrera and Marquez made it a point to say they interviewed every single candidate, and yet they refused to even nominate anyone but Terry Thin. It makes no sense. I would say, let's get somebody in there for 1 year. Let's not spend $100,000 for 1 year. Let's get somebody in there just to fill that position, and then we can have the regular political process play out. So I ask you guys to consider that. Thank you.
And the next speaker is Khalila Mohammed, followed by Tom Gerald and Mary Jo Smith.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, council members, and staff. Thank you so much for having me here tonight, and I want to send my condolences to the family and you all for the passing of Dr. Thornton. She will definitely be missed. My name is Khalila Mohammed, and I'm a social work student at Cal State San Bernardino. I'm here today to introduce a community advocacy project that myself and 4 other social work students in my cohort have been tasked to complete for the current spring semester. So in a nutshell, what we're supposed to do is choose a community, perform an assessment of that community's needs, and ultimately make an attempt at empowering the community members within it to address a need in some form or fashion. My team and I have chosen a community within Edgemont here in Moreno Valley. And we're currently in the assessment stage of our project and have distributed an electronic survey through social media platforms and a few other means in order to try and identify whatever demands that the residents may feel they have. I want to note that it's of primary importance that you all know that this project is not in any way suggestive of Moreno Valley lacking in providing its residents necessary resources. But rather it's a way for us students to advocate and provide a voice for those who may feel voiceless in the communities in which they live. So in the next few weeks, after we've analyzed the survey responses and we formulate a comprehensive strategy to execute our project, you will be hearing back from us. At some point, we would strongly appreciate your good graces and perhaps even collaboration and support during the next stages of our process. That's all I have. I thank you so much for everything that you do, and thank you for your time this evening. I also want to give a shout out and a huge thanks to Jackie at the city manager's office, as well as the wonderful ladies at the city clerk's office for kind of guiding us in the right direction as far as who we should speak to and what the best course of action would be for us to implement this project. So thank you all, and you have a great evening.
The next speaker is Tom Jarrell, followed by Mary Jo Smith and Joshua Nager. Tom, *6 to be able to speak, Tom.
Am I transmitting okay?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Tom Gerald speaking on behalf of myself, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, members of the staff and the public. Well, I guess everybody's listening on Zoom or the internet, but thank you for the opportunity to speak. First of all, I'd like to extend my deepest condolences to Councilwoman Thornton's family. Big shock to me. She was my councilwoman. I did not know her greatly, but I had met her a number of times. The thing I remember best is her very articulate young daughter, very nice young lady. So I just wish that family the best, and they'll be in my prayers. And also to the family of our first mayor and Marshall Scott, and he knew him also. The reason I'm calling tonight, I took note of I tried to speak last 2 weeks ago and couldn't get the phone to unmute. But bottom line, I was very impressed with, I didn't know many of the candidates. I only knew 2 of them. And obviously one of them had a great deal of, Terry Finn had a great following out, which was very impressive. But I know Terry is a lady. She's a very nice, bright, articulate lady. But politically, she represents a path I don't think we want to go down again. She represents a no growth, anti-growth path, and that has cost this city just dearly. And I plan to keep speaking on this if I get through and future council meetings and what it has actually cost our city. It's into the billions of dollars and maybe hundreds of millions of tax revenue and jobs and just many, many benefits. I've always been a pro-growth person, but I'm pro-quality. And, we just can't, that's a path we don't want to go down again. Like I said, it hurt this community egregiously. And another thing we have to watch for is allegiances to other communities. Even little Paris is outpacing us on many ways. Riverside's been eating us for lunch since before we were a city, and they meddle in our games, are very good at it. And an anti-growth policy plays right into their games because they just sop it up. So I hate to think how many millions of dollars have been poured over the line there on Day Street into the city coffers of Riverside, and that rightfully should have been. Still early enough in the new year. I hope your holidays are good and we have a better year of 2021. Thank you very much.
The next speakers are Mary Jo Smith, Joshua Nager, and Luis Palomares. Mr. Nager, Mary Jo Smith is not here.
Yes, Madam Clerk, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and staff. My name is Joshua D. Nagar. I'm a local attorney, president of the Fair Foundation, member of the Workforce Development Board, and director of the Paris Valley Chamber of Commerce. This evening, I'm addressing you on behalf of a cannabis retailer, i.e. Gardens or Empire Gardens, that operates within your city. A few years back, I came in here and spoke in favor of expanding the lottery system from the 7 random cannabis retailer applicants to allow all qualified candidates to move forward. And I did so on the basis that not all operators have the money or expertise to open or operate a commercial cannabis retail location. And a random drawing could not account for the difference between applicants. Only the market could. At that time, Empire Gardens was not part of the lottery winning 7, but was the applicant with the most experience in the IE outside of the desert, had great financials, and was the only shop in the IE outside of the desert that had been through a full HDL financial audit. I recall back then the mayor and council made a laudable decision to allow the free market to decide the winners by allowing the applicants to move forward pursuant to their abilities rather than pursuant to the lottery. And sure enough, Empire Gardens was, I believe, the 2nd shop to open in this city, or amongst the first, and now pays, I believe, the most in city taxes. And this, I believe, is attributed to their experience and expertise. Again, something a random lottery cannot account for, and only the market will determine. I say this in context of a few months ago, the city opened up a few retail licenses that were not claimed from the last period. And I believe the city allocated these 2 retail opportunities by a first come, first served basis. And I believe someone slept in line for a week during Thanksgiving and as a result received all or most of the licenses. Again, kudos to those who slept outside City Hall for a week during Thanksgiving. But sleeping outside for a week is just like a lottery in that it doesn't necessarily yield the best commercial cannabis operator. With that said, Empire Gardens has applied for a micro business at 24595 Alessandro Boulevard, which is an abandoned grocery store currently inundated with homelessness, vagrancy, and drug use. And Empire Gardens has submitted a package to the city as well as $90,000 in fees, along with plans to revitalize the center and signed a lease. And in furtherance of that plan, the landlord of the center and Empire Gardens met with Council Member Marquez, members of the Sheriff's POP team, amongst others, on site to explain the revitalization plan and request the city consider shifting the 2 testing permit slots that are unaccounted for to micro-business slots so that the revitalization package can move forward. Would also note that testing permits may not be ideal right now as the critical mass of cannabis goods that need to be tested has not manifested yet. So with that said, Empire Gardens respectfully requests the city's consideration of allotting the 2 testing licenses to 2 micro business licenses so that they can move forward. And they promise to be open probably before many of the other applicants.
The last speaker. The last speaker is Luis Palomares because Marisa Manso is not in the queue. Luis, star 6, please.
Hello, Luis Palomares, community activist.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Wow, the last speaker, not the last one, but Tom Gerald, he said a mouthful. He knows the history of the city from way back. Everything he said is factual truth. We're behind the 8 ball because of all these haters that we have in our community here, like the Terry Zans. They want to take us back to Egypt. Come on. We're coming out now. We're in the 21st century. They want to take us all the way back. And I agree with Tom Gerald. Everything he said is factual and true. We could have had all that money on the other side of Day Street, but at the 11th hour, the old council people annexed it to Riverside and didn't even pay $1 for it. My God, not even tax, none of it. We lost out there. We lost out on an airport that wanted to come here and do some business here. We lost out there. I mean, how many times have we lost out? We lost out to Riverside, everything on the other side of Day Street. It's theirs right there all the way up to Meridian. They got all those buildings there, but nobody squats or cries about those buildings there. So Tom Gerald is right on the money. We need to go into the 21st century and keep on going forward. And this council has done a very, very good job, except for the one they want to throw in there is Kerry Zan. Come on, we want to go forward. We don't want to go backwards. And Dr. Carla Thornton was going forward full force for the community here. Boy, what a loss to our community. What a huge loss. And there will be an election. And, if they're crying and griping about it, let them run for the seat. The seat's going to, in November, I believe, they can run for that seat. But we don't want to go backwards, Kerry Zen, with your old-fashioned ideas. And let's keep it like Egypt forever and horse country forever. Because you're from that same old crowd that wants no progress. They want to keep it like this. You want to go move to Sun City. If you're too old for this city, go to move to Sun City. If your ideas are too old, go move to Sun City. We got a lot of young people coming up here. People bought these big homes and brought kids. I got three grandkids that went to the Marine, got their doctorates, their bachelors, and they're not gonna live here because there's nothing here to keep them here. So a lot of kids want to stay in their community and do something for the community. And that's what I got to say about all that. So, let's keep on going forward. And I guess I'm the last speaker. So thank you, and keep on going forward, council members, and hopefully we keep on running with the ball. Thank you again.
Mayor, that's the last speaker.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Would any of the council members like to make their comments right now? Closing comments? No? Okay. All right. We're now going to move to our joint consent calendar sections A through E on the agenda. These are considered to be routine and non-controversial sections A, B, C, D, and E, and may be enacted by one motion. The motion to adopt the consent calendars is deemed to be a separate motion by each agency and shall be recorded by the city clerk. At this time, are there any items that you would like for a separate vote or a discussion?
Mayor, I'd like to pull A3 for just some discussion.
Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and start with that one, A3. Go ahead, Councilmember.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Thank everyone out there that's listening to us tonight. The reason I'm pulling A3 is there's a lot of rumors going around, a lot of untrue stories going around about this election. I just want to clarify why it's on the agenda. It's on the agenda because we need a second vote on this issue. It has nothing to do with a special election where it could be in June. By law, and this comes from the Sacramento, that this issue of election, because we could not come to an agreement on an appointment, will be November. It has nothing to do with if the mayor called a early vote. If I was supposedly I had said something that I was going to vote no on this issue to stop the process. There's nothing could stop this process. I had sat down with staff and gone over this issue. I just want to make it clear out there that 8-3 has nothing to do with stopping this election or changing anything. It's by law. It comes from the Secretary of State that it's going to go to election. Simple as that. And I just want to make it clear. And that's all I have to say. Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Councilmember. Any other comments or items on the consent? Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Baca. You're muted.
I would like to make a motion to adopt the consent calendar.
Okay, is there, there's a motion, is there a second? Okay, second by Councilmember Marquez. And we'll go ahead and call for the vote, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilmember Marquez?
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca?
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 4 ayes.
Okay, that leads us to, let me go right over here to item, we actually don't have any public hearing items tonight or general business in a sense. So we'll go straight to our reports. And we only have one report. So relatively short meeting tonight. Riverside Transit Agency, Councilmember Marquez.
Thank you, Mayor. Since hopefully that by tomorrow that the Riverside County will go back in the red tier, which means that we'll be able to get out more and visit more stores and more restaurants. So people will be out using transportation, public transportation. I am a board director of the RTA, and there's 2 things I wanted to say tonight. One is use transportation, public transportation, to go out if you're going to restaurants, if you're going shopping. It's the cheapest way to get out there and stay off the, gas has gone up. Gasoline prices have gone up. So use public transportation. And the best way to do it is RTA. They have the shuttles, they have dollar ride, they have other options. And I just encourage that the residents of Moreno Valley especially, go out and use public transportation. It's very cheap. You keep your car in the garage all nice and clean and gassed up, and use a couple of dollars to use public transportation. And second on my report is the Rta Bus Watch. It's a free app that provides trip planning and estimate arrivals for your bus trips. The updated Bus Watch is more responsive, easier to navigate, and deliver alerts on your phone or tablet. Please visit rtabus.com for further details. That concludes my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, City Manager's report.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of City Council. Just 2 items tonight. First, another award for City of Moreno Valley, fantastic, that we received from the Keep America Beautiful organization for their 2020 Presidential Circle Award for our Keep Moreno Valley Beautiful, also known as Beautiful Mobile Program. As you know, there's probably over 50 to 100,000 cities and special districts in the nation, and we're only one of the 700 organizations that have received this from the Keep America Beautiful organization. And the second item tonight is once again, Mayor, and I just want to thank you and also the members of the City Council for our You Got You Covered campaign. This actually started as an outreach with the mayor and Mayor Pro Tem and various city council members. You guys have outreached a lot of the business organizations and solicited donation for our masks and hand sanitizers. To date, we have given out more than 200,000 masks and over 320,000 hand sanitizers to our residents in our community. So once again, thank you for your support for this fantastic program. That concludes the city manager's presentation tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you for everything you're doing too as well. We have a Councilmember Cabrera. Hi there. Hey.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Buenas tardes. Good to be here once again. First of all, I hope you all have adjusted your clocks, your watches. We did move forward an hour. As you can see behind me, the sunlight, actually the sunset is happening as I speak. So, you know, enjoy the longer days. The days are getting brighter, literally. I'm excited about it. I get to spend more time outside, and just today, actually, it was announced that it looks like tomorrow, officially, Riverside County is going to be moving into the red tier, which means that there's going to be slightly lower restrictions on things like indoor dining and for movie theaters and gyms. So it's not a full reopening, but you know, we're taking one step closer toward that. And there's going to be some more indoor services starting here pretty soon. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us or check out the county's website for specifics, especially if you're a business owner and you own one of these businesses, to make sure that you're in compliance and you know you can start following those new rules. Also, extremely great news at the mall. We finally have our super vaccination site here in Moreno Valley. So just want to tip my hat off to my colleagues here on the council, Mike Lee, everyone at City Hall. Also, a huge thank you to Riverside County Public Health, the fire department, all of our fire personnel. I was able to go out there last Friday and I met with one of our captains. He gave me a tour of the site and kind of showed me around. So currently we're vaccinating, I believe it's around 2,000 people per day. And at the max capacity, at its full capacity, it's going to be vaccinating up to 6,000 people per day, which is huge. They have all three vaccines. It's the Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines. So that is extremely good news. And I know a lot of people are still trying to get their appointments, whether it's the first or the second dose. But please check back onto the county's website or sign up at My Turn to make sure that you actually receive those notifications when there's new appointments, and you can sign up for your vaccination. So really good work to everyone on that. Extremely excited to share that news. So not too much to share. It's a very short meeting. We're going to have more here pretty soon, but hopefully in the near future. I know other cities are also meeting partially in person. So I really hope that we can start meeting, if not completely in person, at least in some form between now and the summer, so that we can get back into the council chamber and also, hopefully start having members of the public speak during public comments. So, we're getting closer to that. And also just the various stimulus packages, right? Again, last week it was officially signed, I believe on Wednesday, President Joe Biden signed into law the stimulus package, which has $1.9 trillion of funding. And that funding breaks down into so many different things, about $300 billion of funding for cities and states, which will come down here to us as well for things like fire, for police, for our infrastructure, for all these programs that we have in place right now and more to build back better. So there's a lot of things to look forward to. Just a couple of different highlights from that stimulus package. Obviously, the $1,400 stimulus checks that are on their way. Some folks may have already gotten it. If you have direct deposit, it may be in your bank already. If not, please be sure to follow up on that and check up on that check. Also, for those who have children, you're going to be receiving more funding as well. I believe it's about $3,600, including for babies that are not even born yet. So just please keep watch for those details as these programs come online and the funding applications become available, so that we can make sure that we bring those funds here to the city of Moreno Valley. It's extremely vital to kickstart our economy stronger. So another big one, unfortunately, we have seen a lot of deaths over the past year or so, but also in the stimulus package is funding for funeral assistance. So Again, all the details will be coming out soon, but basically it is about $7,000 worth of assistance for families who had to have a funeral due to COVID. So, you know, there's a lot of monies coming down, a lot of assistance on the way, rental assistance. Just today, we received more information about that. So, you know, I know a lot of people are in need right now. A lot of people are still trying to find their way, and you know, we are here to help. So, as always, I know that it gets pretty tough, and you know, everybody stays pretty busy, but please reach out to us. I know that all of us here at City Hall are more than happy to help. So please wear your masks, stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you at the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Baca?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say that I know that we're moving into a different tier, but please still wear your mask, double mask if you need to, and keep your distance 6 feet from people that don't live with you, and wash your hands. Don't touch your eyes, your nose, your mouth with your hands. And there's, you know, just keep up with what the guidelines have given us so far. And that's why we're moving to a better place, which is tier, red tier. And also do your best to go online at the city's website and find out where the vaccines are being given. I'm gonna get my vaccine this week. I'm really, you know, kind of happy and worried about it, but you know, we gotta get that fear out of here and know that we're doing it for the better good for our community and our families. And so go on our website and look for places that are giving the vaccines. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you, Councilor Marquez and Councilor Cabrera as well. And
Mayor?
you know, yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Can I make some comments? I didn't know, I'll do my report on RTA.
Oh, oh, sorry, did we skip you?
You skipped me.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry about that. Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that. Okay. You know, it's just been such a weird meeting with no business, no main items. Yeah, I apologize.
It's a time change. It's a time change.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, well, thank you, Mayor. I want to start off by saying this. I need to apologize. And I wish I could do it in person, but I'll do it on Zoom tonight. I've got to apologize to several people for some carelessness that occurred this weekend with me being present. We did a park cleanup, Patriot Park, District 4, with Mr. James Baker, Terry Thin, Miss Marina Valley, Stephanie from, I guess she's in the school district, Kerry Thin, Robert Thin, and her grandson, and Lindsay Robinson. I've got to personally apologize. I did something that I shouldn't have done, and I didn't realize that I was told today that I did it. And that was, we worked out there on Patriot Park. The whole time I was out there, I did not wear a mask. I came in close contact with these individuals. And I should have had a mask. Being a city leader, I neglected to, and I want to apologize to these individuals and also to the community. I've always said, wear a mask wherever you go outside of your home, and I did not. In the future, I will be wearing a mask, and that leads me to one other thing, Morrison Park. We got this award for the Movelle being beautiful, and I want to continue this. And this weekend, Morrison Park at 9 o'clock, I will be doing my sponsor with Morrison Park and cleanup. I need volunteers. I have some Little League parents, the president, and the families coming out to work on Morrison Park. But I'd like to get some more volunteers, community volunteers. Come on out, bring your rake, your gloves, your hedging tools, your brooms, the shovels, so we can beautify Morrison Park. And we all got to wear a mask. We all will wear a mask while we're out there this Saturday. It starts at 9 o'clock. So I'm hoping that I can get the community to come out and help. We're gonna have coffee in the morning for the adults and drinks and donuts for the adults and kids. And if it goes into afternoon, I'll have some pizza delivered to us. So I want everybody to come out, volunteers. Just come on out and support. You don't have to do any yard work or anything hard work. Just come on out and support the people that are there. I have hats, T-shirts. I have other things to hand out. So come on out. Next is lately we've had some tragic accidents, and they've been involved with DUIs. I've been involved with Highway Patrol, State of California Task Force, with DUIs within our region. Now that we're going into tier red, that means more people are going to get out to celebrate. You're going to bars, nightclubs. Be responsible. Be responsible, please. Don't drink or drive or take illegal drugs and drive. This is something that I don't want to get a call at 2 o'clock in the morning that there was a fatal accident in Moreno Valley. It bothers me, and I do attend those accidents when I get notified. Just give support, not to law enforcement or fire, but also for family members who are there. So please, don't drink and drive or take illegal drugs, and also prescription drugs. Majority of those accidents that come under the prescriptions, they are narcotics, and it tells you on there not to drink and drive. So please, when you get out there, don't use those illegal drugs or alcohol. It was brought up tonight about a customer and a business owner, property owners on a facility that I went out to this past week. I just want to say this. Our homeless are taking over those vacant properties, and the property owners are spending a lot of money to keep those properties up to par so they can be rented out. And the business that wants to rent this one is having a problem with homeless people. And I understand with the permits, but I want to say this. If you see something at with a facility that is homeless, that housing homeless, notify us, notify my office. And Mayor, can you just give me a couple more minutes, please? A couple more, a second.
Yeah.
Please call myself, call any council member. We want to fill these facilities with businesses. We need them out here. We don't need these empty buildings where the homeless invades them and we can't rent them out because nobody wants to put any money into them. Please be part of that vigilant and visual. And if you see anything, say something. Help us out so we can get these vacant buildings occupied. And the last I want to bring up also is that please don't be dumping your trash on the side of the roads. We have our city crew members that work 5 days a week to clean up these trash, these areas where people are dumping on the east end of town. It only takes it only costs $15 to go to the dump to dump it. Please take time and go to the dump. If you can't afford it, then call the city and we'll make arrangements to pick up your trash. Please don't be dumping it on the side of the road. Thank you, Mayor.
No problem. Thank you, Dave. And again, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, no, I think in regards to the homeless situation too, like Councilor Marquez mentioned, please let us know. We do have the mobile app as well, where you can report situations as well, or even calling our city council office as well and reporting an issue. We have had a major, actually a lot of difficulty. Part of it has to do, I think, with just working with Caltrans. And so the good thing though is that I know staff, and I know Councilor Marquez, yourself as well, you're working with the CHP commander as well. And many of us are trying to tackle a multi-tier approach to really address the homeless issue that we have in our community. We also have those programs like the Homeless to Work program, the outreach program that also the Salvation Army does as well. They're also having some difficulty in the sense that right now there's some homeless that are receiving stimulus monies, and so some of them don't want the help. So we're trying to provide them the best approach and the best intervention that's appropriate. So that's kind of the difficulties that we're all kind of challenging right now. I do want to say progress is finally coming to our city, and I'm so happy as the mayor, to really see all of this great, beautiful progress that's happening in our community. From now, we're going into the red tier, as you guys know, with the county release notification about that. More vaccination sites are popping up, as well as the one at the mall. Like Councilmember Cabrera mentioned, it's a great organization and structure that they have there. I'm really excited for that because I was able to attend a few other ones at other cities just to see how it was all kind of working out. And there were a lot of people having to wait more than an hour, unfortunately. And granted, it was the first time that it was rolled out. So I think that the more public safety is doing it, the more we're getting better at it. And I have heard from multiple people, even also city workers as well, that sometimes they don't even have to wait. It's almost just a walk-in process. They walk in, get the shot, wait the 15 minutes, and then they leave. So it's really, really good. We also have a lot of vaccines available. Make sure that you contact rivcoph.org to schedule your vaccine appointment, or moval.org/vaccine to look for those providers that are providing that. And like Mayor Pro Tem mentioned, it takes a village, and we all have to do our part. And that's why we all have to get vaccinated to hopefully get to that level of herd immunity. I'm really excited to announce that Raising Cane's, not only because I like the food, but Raising Cane's is coming to town. And so if you're familiar with Raising Cane's, they serve chicken strips and also this large Texas cheese toast that's really good. So really looking forward to having that. And they're going to occupy the area where the old Acapulco was. So that's really nice. And then obviously we have the Sprouts that we mentioned at the last council meeting as well. In regards to the council meetings, I know many of us are really eager to have our council meetings in the chamber. I am as well. Part of the hesitation that I think I've kind of had in kind of calling it into the council chamber is just that at the time our staff wasn't vaccinated. So I really wanted to make sure our staff was vaccinated as far as public safety code, and then just in general, all our city workers. I am hearing more and more that more city workers are getting vaccinated now, especially today with the new conditions from the state. So I'm hoping that maybe in the next 2 weeks or so, if we start to see more, and that's I'll talk with Mike as well, and then I'll reach out to you as well, Councilmember Cabrera, and see when we can actually bring us back in. Or even like you mentioned, a hybrid approach or something like that. I think that's important too. But yeah, definitely, I think it's really important. I think the residents really enjoyed coming in and visiting. But I want to make sure that our employees are protected too. So those are the dynamics there. Again, I just want to thank everyone, the staff. Thank you for all of your hard work, for everything that you do. I know it's been a pretty tough time recently, and I just again want to thank you for all of your hard work. And we're going to continue to move forward through our Momentum Mobile plan. So again, without further ado, we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 6:49 p.m. Thank you all for attending.